Welcome to For Collectors.
All right, yo, what is up? For
Where you at,
collectors,
Pepino?
I'm in my card room, man, at home. It is hot, hotter than I don't know, a llama's butt right now, but it is hot. I just got home. I'm sweating, and my AC is not working, so I got to deal with this, which is fine. I'm cool with it. How about you?
Well, it doesn't get as hot there in California as it does here. So you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
Is it really hot there?
Yeah, it's been 99. So it's not 100 degrees yet, but it's still hot.
Are you not coming on screen with me?
What?
Are
you can't see me?
No.
Oh, I can see you, but I see a delay on your speech.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got
switch to your high-speed internet, not your dial-up.
Is it on my end? Is it on my end? You guys can't see me.
No, I can see you, but you're really like.
All right, let me come back in then.
All right, I guess we'll get a chance to read. Hey, what's up? You get to read yo fella from Cardboard Coach. We got Peacemaker cards. Hello all. Waiting on John and his dial-up. It's hotter in South Florida. That's what Mangini just said. Cheers, Dog 8 card collector. All right, so there he is. I think you're better.
You think I'm better? You can see me?
I have always been able to see you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the problem was.
I
can't see myself on here normally. It doesn't look like it usually does. So I don't know what's going on. I can't see myself. Before I couldn't see you.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we can see each other now.
All right, man.
So how's it going, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I got my autographed Cobra bat here.
Sick.
We lost Dave Parker, man.
Yeah, man. Kind of sad. He was older. He's one of those I don't know how you would say it, but he was quite the character. He had a lot of stuff going on the field as much as off the field. Great player.
Yeah,
great player.
I've heard him referred to as the Muhammad Ali of baseball before. He was confident.
Yeah, you've always talked about him. You've always mentioned him. So yeah, because you're a Pittsburgh fan too, right?
Well, yeah, I got to watch him a lot when I was little. So, hey, a lot of people don't know how he got his nickname. Do you know?
The Cobra. Shoot. No, I don't anymore. I know he had other nicknames, but yeah, the Cobra. No, I don't remember exactly how.
He was given that nickname by a longtime trainer, Tony Barterone. He was a Pirates trainer from the late 60s to the early 80s. He was very well known in Pittsburgh. They called him the Professor. And when Dave first came up, because he was from Cincinnati, there was a boxer, Ezzard Charles. And Ezzard Charles, his nickname was the Cincinnati Cobra. And so he started calling him Cobra. And it stuck.
Sweet, man, the Cobra. So what did he die of? Did he just die of a heart attack?
he.
Oh yeah,
I don't
he's got
know. I
Parkinson's.
don't know what he died of
Yeah,
per se, but he had Parkinson's. He's been sick for a
yeah,
long time,
yeah. I think he's already
and
had
I was
Parkinson's
really
for like
hoping
10
he got
years.
in. I was really hoping he got in before he passed, but I wish he could have given his speech.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at least he knew he was in. Unlike
yeah,
Gil Hodges and Minnie Minoso and a lot of others.
yeah. That's pretty sad. So let's see that bat. What? How'd you get that
Uh,
autograph? Did you just buy
oh, I
that
don't
at
know.
a shop or?
I got this years ago. Such a great bat, Dave Parker. I collect the the old lumber company, Pittsburgh Pirates Lumber Company bats. Oh, I can see myself now. Here, I have this. This is an old scorebook. Shows the lumber company here.
Oh, okay. Talking about everybody.
I remember seeing these ads when I was a little kid. That's what they called this lineup. It was just a great lineup. You know, Al Oliver, Richie Zisk, Rennie Stennett, Manny Sanguian, Willie Stargell, Dave Parker. Those guys could hit.
Yeah, I have one autograph that I probably bought a year ago. It was $20. Cobra. I thought it was surprisingly cheap, but yeah, Dave Parker definitely lost a good one. Yeah, I remember I got inspired to buy that Dave Parker autograph. It's one of those things when you're on a YouTube kick, and on one of my trips when I was camping, I downloaded almost kind of by accident a couple of Dave Parker like YouTube videos, like just about him. And I watched them both, and like, oh, I never knew he was kind of like Mickey Mantle. How Mickey Mantle is to me is like, I love his on-field stuff, but I'm also so interested in off the field stuff, and he had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that like made me want to buy his autograph when I got back home from camping, and that was like the first card I bought when I came back.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
fun to watch. Fun to watch. He won 2 back-to-back batting titles. Put on a show on that in that 79 All-Star game. Won an MVP in 78. Few silver sluggers, 3 gold gloves. He was that true 5-tool player. You know, he could do it all.
Yeah, definitely he was great. I mean, he had a bunch of scholarships out of high school. I remember stuff like that. Could have played any sport, and I know
Well,
he was one of those contract people. He got like a weird contract too, but you know he was one of the first $1 million men, and also one of the first people to spend $1 million right away.
Well, you know, he should have been the first $1 million man. They had agreed. The Pirates had agreed, and he agreed to the contract prior to Nolan Ryan. But the Pirates didn't want to be known as the team to give a guy, the first team to give a guy $1 million. So they held it back. And so they were, I guess, in agreement before Nolan Ryan signed.
Yeah, man. Somebody asked me if I smoke. I do smoke in my room, obviously, and no, I don't think it's ever affected any of my cards. I mean, nothing is yellow. Anything that's affected more of my cards probably my beer. I did spill beer on my Sandy Koufax rookie, so that makes it more special now. It's like that's got a lot of Pepino DNA in it now.
A beer stained Koufax rookie.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick and see if I can see those stains. I mean, don't get me mad. When it first happened, I was pissed, man. I was I can't believe I'm so stupid. But then I was like, hey, it's my card. Those are my stains right there.
Well, that leads us right into the topic. You know, low eye appeal, off-centered cards. That's what I'm collecting now.
So what's bringing that upon? Is that for real or is that a?
It's just like everywhere you turn, it's eye appeal centered. So I just thought I'd go the opposite. You know, you can get them a lot cheaper.
You know what's one of the kind of things that I'm thinking of coining not coining, like I don't care about it, but just saying it is. I was watching. I can't remember, but he's talking about the eye appeal and what he's got a couple of names for it, like great appeal now and stuff like that. So I wanted to come up with my own thing called feel appeal, like actually feeling a card, you know, because it's not because you have it raw.
Yeah. Well, you know, Dan's Vintage, he coined the term own appeal.
Own
right?
appeal?
Yeah, because just to own a copy, like, I mean, wouldn't you just like to own a T206 Wagner?
Yeah,
you wouldn't really care what it looked like too much. If you owned it, you'd be happy to own it.
Yeah, I think that was a guy that Vintage Sanctuary was referring to in the video that I'm talking about, where I was watching him, and he's talking about like the great appeal, the feel, and I was like, or the C appeal. It's a name that rhymes. It was actually pretty good. And then I said, like right away it came into my head. What about feel appeal?
That's a good one.
Yeah, right. Like feel appeal. Can any of you guys? Do you guys even know what a Sandy Koufax rookie feels like? It's got that great feel appeal. And you know what? I can't see the beer stains anymore. I think they disappeared. Oh no! You can see some right here.
You soaked
right
it
here.
You soaked it in beer.
Yeah,
of distilled water.
And I think it kind of went away. I could have sworn I saw like a lot more like the circling, like the stains, but they're gone. But yeah, feel appeal.
Pepino, they dry out
Taste
after a
appeal.
while. They dry out after a while. You know, as kids, you spilled some soda or something on them.
Well,
they dry out. They get a little.
I gotta admit though, I was totally wrong. Like when I first started seeing those videos, I never looked them up, but people were always posting them or talking about them and sharing them in feeds and stuff. But like when Kurt's card care came on, I was like, and he's soaking them in water or solution. I was like, that's gotta ruin the card. Like I always thought, like if I drop my card in water, it's gone, it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, to each his own. Amazing. It's amazing. That I always thought it would be worse. Like when I dropped all of that beer on my card, I thought it was gonna be all stain, but no, it only has one little stain on the end.
Yeah, so I had cards from being a kid when you spill something on them and they would be like, all wavy.
Yeah.
But I think if the whole thing's dipped, it's a little better than just if part of it's dipped.
Yeah.
But I swear I could tell when these cards are soaked. I was looking today at a Lou Gehrig, a 34 Gaudy Lou Gehrig in a 5. And I'm looking at those scans and I'm like, this thing has been cleaned. These cards don't look this way. It just has a certain look about it when it's been wet.
Yeah, I mean,
I see them all the time. I see cards all the time that I am just, in my head, I'm sure they've been soaked.
Yeah, I don't think I have that much experience to be able to tell. So you really think you could tell looking at a card? Oh, that's been
I'm
clean.
not sure I could tell every one, but there are a lot of them. And I'll send them to my friends, and I'll be like, "Yeah, Kurt did a good job on this one because it just looks clean. It just doesn't look right."
So you think you can work at PSA and call out the cards that have been clean?
I don't know. I think I have way too much experience according to their one ads. I think I'm overqualified.
Really? You applied? I remember like Collector's Dream, Orlando, right? He applied for was it for SGC to become a grader?
Yeah, I think so.
Like he went through the whole process and stuff. That's pretty cool. Did you really apply for PSA?
No. No, I did not.
That'd be a sweet side gig.
I don't live in California. Where are they? They have one in New Jersey too, don't they?
Yeah, they have one in New York and one in California. There's one lady that I buy from, and I buy most of my vintage from, that she gives me great deals. She used to work for PSA, and when I first started coming around, getting to know her better, she was telling me, she said, "Why don't you try to go for PSA?" And I remember it was a trip, like because it was like $15 an hour. You know what I mean? And like what she was telling me, it was a part-time job. You could kind of make your own hours or whatever. But I was like, $15 an hour. I was like, I always thought like these guys were, you know, top tier people who made a lot of money. But I was like, wow, $15 an hour. That's not like anybody could do this then. Or like not wealthy people are not going to want to do this. Like take this job seriously. For $15 an hour, you're going to get a lot of amateurs.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, just the fact that if they're grading 1.5 million cards a month, they're not going to have enough qualified people to grade those cards. They're bringing them off the street.
Yeah, see, a Collector's Dream said they offered him a job for $45,000 a year.
Yeah, that was probably many years ago, though.
You think it's gone up considerably now?
No, I saw their ads. I guess starting salaries at $17 now in California, but I think isn't the minimum wage at McDonald's $19 an hour now?
Yeah, it's like 20-something dollars an hour. That's what I'm saying. What kind of quality people are you getting? I always thought it would just pay a lot more and try to get some people that can be bribed type of money, you know?
Yeah. No. Years ago, they even said no experience needed. Now they say you need according to their ad, you need a minimum of a year collecting experience. But you know, collecting for just a year, you've never seen all these cards.
Yeah, and more than likely you've been buying slabs and you've never even touched the cards. More than likely.
Yeah, when you were talking about that feel appeal, you know, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but now that everybody only collects slabs, no one will ever touch cards anymore. I'll bet you there are collectors who have 1,000 cards and they've never touched one.
Oh yeah,
they've only bought slabbed cards. Maybe never even bought open packs.
Yeah, even most people nowadays that buy what you want to call a raw card, you're still buying them in the penny sleeves and top loaders and cases. So most people don't ever touch. That's the thing about being a binder collector that I can say for myself. Like I touch every card that's in the binder. I've touched them, feel appeal, cardboard to cardboard. And the way that I make my checklist, okay, so one of the things that when I do my checklist, I don't just keep going off the checklist and cross them out and then look at the ones I cross out and just write a new one according to my old checklist. Every time I write a new one, I go through every page again, every single time. So, and I look through every page which is missing and write a new list every time. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, I saw your video explaining that.
So many, almost every one of these binders, like just putting it together, I've gone through every page hundreds of times by the time I complete it. You know what I mean? So I do look at every single card. You get like after a while, you know what every card looks like. If someone just says a 61 so and so, like boom, that image pops in my head because of my binders because I've seen it so many times.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like that too. If I get a new card for a set, then I look through the whole set again. And then if I have it stored with other sets, like some of the smaller sets, specialty sets from the 50s or whatever, then I'll look through those too. And that's just a way. I don't know. I just like to do that. I get I got a 64 tops Venezuelan. I'm looking through all the rest of my 64 tops Venezuelan. Then I start looking at my 66s. And then I start looking at my 67. You got to appreciate what you have sometimes.
Oh yeah, I one of the things that turned me off about I remember a few years ago, there was this channel that was kind of new, and the guys went to Burbank Sports Cards to talk to the owner. And this was before even the two newer stores. A brand new one wasn't built yet, and even the one that he just moved from wasn't built yet. They basically only used to have a giant warehouse. It was just like a warehouse and you order everything online. It wasn't like a physical walk-in store with a bunch of cases everywhere.
Yeah.
But they interviewed him and then they asked if they could see his collection. And he said I don't really collect cards, but he had one binder page of 9 cards of just silly names, the basic Rusty Kunz, Dick Paul. He just, and the guys that were interviewing him, they said, "Oh, see, that's awesome. You're a real collector," because I don't think a real collector, you can't enjoy more than 20 cards. He's like, maybe at the maximum 71 cards in your collection. But if you have more than that, there's no way you could ever enjoy them all. And I was like, what is this guy talking about? He's
I
like,
don't know,
you can't
Pepino.
look at this.
They just make stuff up today for content, I think. Or if if it's their opinion and your opinion differs, then you're an idiot. I don't know. It's a new world. But that's absurd. 70 cards is not that much.
No. And they were
And
just talking about
I'm
his
with
9
you.
card.
Like I enjoy my sets. I have some sets in binders. I have some in boxes, and I love going through them.
Larry Gitlin just said he just picked up some Burt Ross cards. So let's
nice.
talk about that. Let's talk about that, Mangini. I was meaning, and I probably still will. There was a video that you made where you were talking about all the different niches, and stuff, niches in the hobby, about like, what do you think about grades? What do you think about off-center cards? What do you think about what's your definition of oddball cards? You just had kind of like a bunch of questions in there. So with the oddball cards, one of my simple answer to that, just this is me, and I like to ask other people what their definition is, and I don't get offended by their definition. I just like to know what your definition is. This is what I used to tell a lot of, when I used to do a lot of deals on Instagram before I had my YouTube channel. I always used to ask people, what's your definition of vintage? Because to me, it's anything from the 70s, below 80. And a lot of the people were like, oh, anything that's 25 years old. So I was like, so to you, a 90s card is vintage? Because to me, it's not. All right. So just to make it clear, when we're doing a deal and I ask you for vintage cards, please don't show me 80s or 90s. 70 and below, 80, 79 and below is my definition of vintage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with me, oddball cards has always been what isn't mainstream. So a Burke Ross card to me would be an oddball, and I know it wouldn't to you, but to me that's my definition. Something that wasn't mainstream that I wouldn't find in your monthly Beckett price guide. That's why I grew up like, oh, that's an oddball card. Even if it was a Duracell card, a Burger King card that looked exactly the same, it was an oddball if it wasn't Topps, Fleer, Donruss, Score, Upper Deck to me. So to you, do you even have a definition for an oddball card, or you just do not go with the name at all?
For me, I just find that absurd. I think the term oddball started with people that didn't know cards. Like one of the reasons it has a bad connotation to me is it was like in the early days of eBay, if people didn't know what something was, they would call it an oddball. Now, I've always gotten the standard catalog of baseball cards and old cardboard magazine and things like that. And so those cards were always known to me. So they were not non-mainstream cards to me. And I always felt like it was people who didn't really know cards that called them that, because they didn't know what they were. And because those were the cards at that era. They were very popular, and they were, that's what people collected. And it's like, is a T206, is that mainstream? Was that mainstream everywhere? I don't know. Or a T205? I mean, T205s are not that common. Are they oddball? I don't know. To me, they're all cards.
Yeah, because I would, and I totally agree with you. And even on the part of being naive, we're like, I used to have the baseball catalog, but I used to get it mostly just as a checklist, because the ones that I used to get would have every single card in the set. So that to me was like a checklist. So to me, I used to get those as a checklist. I didn't really look through every other one to look for prices or anything like that. And to be fair, to your point, I would consider myself naive and agree with you that me, like the basic collector in the 80s and 90s, my knowledge of cards itself and other brands was not that great. So to me, I think it's being naive that to me, only Topps, Fleer, Donruss, the mainstream ones, were considered like the mainstream cards, and all these other ones were to me oddball cards. And I would agree with you that because as much as I want to say I knew about those 80s cards and 90s, I only knew those. I was naive to the rest of the world of the Purina Dog, the Burke Ross, all these other cards that existed.
33 DeLong. Those were I don't know. They were pretty mainstream, but I don't know. I never once, like, when I pulled a Kellogg's out of a box of cereal, I never said, "Oh wow, this is an oddball." To me, in my head, an oddball is something that's goofy looking, like it's goofy looking. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a baseball like a normal looking baseball card. There's no normal looking baseball card I would personally call an oddball. But there's no. The funny thing about it is everybody has a different definition. You know,
Yeah.
and so if everybody has a definition, then there is no definition. You can't. Everybody just does their own thing. It's
Yeah.
like, what is a
There-
rookie card, or what is
Yeah.
vintage? Originally there was pre-war, there was 19th century, and then there was pre-war, and then the vintage era was essentially from, like, 40 after 41 play ball until 1978. That's how it was always defined. And then people
Mhm.
started to expand that to 1979 or 1980. So everybody has their own definition, whether it's that. I've seen people say the vintage era ended in 73. Now, that wasn't the widely accepted era for vintage, because vintage,
Yeah.
if you have a car, vintage is 20 years old. Classics 10 years, vintage is 20 years. So it's a moving scale.
Yeah.
But in baseball cards, it wasn't a moving scale.
Yeah. We have
I'm not
eras.
saying that was right or wrong. I'm just
Yeah, we
saying
have
that
eras.
that's what everybody accepted. And now you see people do videos on my top 20 vintage baseball cards, and they're all from 1990s. And they're their top cards because of the grade. So everything's just changed. Everything's just totally changed, and everybody has a different definition of everything today.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
what I
there are
said.
no rules.
That's what I said. That's what I like about the hobby. That's what I like.
Maybe
Talking to
pre-war.
collectors.
Maybe
That's what. Yeah, that's why I like talking to collectors and having little streams and just talking for more than an hour instead of just commenting on each other's videos, and find out what you can, because there's a lot of people in the chat right now that said they consider 69 and older, and I've never heard so many people say from 69. I've heard a lot of people say 79.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've never heard that, and all of a sudden I'm hearing all these people.
Yeah,
like, to me, I've always
said,
said 79. Yeah,
everybody's just making things
I
up
love
at
to
this
hear your
point.
definition. I love to hear people's definitions.
How about pre-war? I'm gonna make pre-wars no longer World War I. It's now the Ukraine-Russian war. Everything before the Ukraine-Russian war is pre-war, or before the Iraqi war. It's like, but you could do what you want. You don't have to listen to everybody. I've been saying that about rookie cards for years. It's like, why do I have to abide by some goofy rule that a card made in somebody's rookie year is not a rookie card?
Yeah,
or
I'm pretty sure sooner or later there's going to be a mass with the new generation of collectors where 1900s is probably going to be vintage. You know what I mean? Anything pre-2000.
Yeah, what I really find absurd is non-sports cards when they call them rookie cards. It's like, here's Mickey Mouse's rookie card or Walt Disney's rookie card. Like, that's not even a term used. That's not even a term used in non-sports. It should be their first card, not their rookie card. I don't call them rookie cards. You can't have Mozart's rookie card that was made 100 years after he died.
Especially when you see like cards of, like, say, old football cards of old coaches that didn't become a coach. They're like 50, and that's his rookie card. That looks silly.
Yeah, like Chuck Noll's rookie card. When he actually does have some sort of I think it's a team issue from when he was a lineman with the Browns. But he actually does have a card. But they call that Pro Set card, I think it is. I think it's the Pro Set.
The Pro Sets are nice. Do you
but
have
they
any?
call that his rookie card. It's like he had already won 4 Super Bowls and was at the end of his career. And they call that a rookie
Pro Sets. I wish baseball, I guess they maybe kind of do, but probably the old stadium but I don't think people like them. In football, the Pro Sets, you have a lot of football cards of players like in their home settings and doing what their hobby is and playing clothes. And I think when Bowman tried that with baseball, I don't think it got received very well with baseball fans, like the Chipper Jones and the Mariano Rivera. I don't think people enjoyed those very much. I'm cool with them. But I see a lot of people
I don't think they were received well in the Pro Set either. When I got them, I was like, well, this is dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, why do I want this? It's like
I think they're cool.
There's Franco Harris holding his baby.
Yeah, you see a
in
lot of
street
family
clothes, and
pictures with
there's
them with their families.
Louis Lips's wife. She was good looking, so I didn't mind having that card. But I mean, what is that? We're putting players' wives now.
Yeah. The Philippine collector was talking about how like Manny Pacquiao's rookie is like an Allen and Ginter or whatever it was. Yeah, right there. Just because it was his first Topps card,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, like you see a lot of presidents cards, like people now that do videos that talk about non-sports cards, and they have like cards of presidents, and the president's like 50 years old, 40 years old. Oh, this is his rookie card. Like, it's not a rookie card. Like, he was a rookie in politics probably when he was 20. He
But
wasn't a
they don't
rookie
even call
when
it
he was
that.
40.
They don't even call it that, though. That's what I'm saying. It's a term for sports.
Yeah. They never been called a rookie in their life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have a police card, I guess that could be a rookie. They call them rookies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you ever hear of a rookie composer or a rookie actor or a rookie singer? No.
Yeah, that's definitely but that's all over the place now because there's a lot of words now that are used in the hobby that I wasn't hearing 10 years ago that are terms brought over from like Wall Street, from stock and bond, right?
Right.
Like there's
ROI.
there is
Return
such
on
a new
investment.
language in the hobby now that was not here 10 years ago.
Yeah. That's funny. Maybe cards will start paying dividends soon. You can buy some cards that'll pay you a dividend.
Yeah.
You have the growth cards, and then you have the ones that pay you a dividend, and the blue chip cards.
Yeah. You got to diversify your binders. So
what else is on your mind?
I don't know, man. What do you think about what's going on with everything in the hobby right now? What's your take on Fanatics Fest? Have you seen any videos of that, clips of that and stuff?
I didn't, but everybody seems to really have enjoyed it. The videos I've seen of people that went, everybody and comments on those videos, it seems like people really enjoy that show.
Yeah, it seems like it's a fun corporate event, right? Yeah. Like for me, like going to a conference for groundskeepers and stuff, like it's a professional corporate event, But my thing that bothers me when people say this is gonna take over, or this is better than the National. It's like, well, the National and Fanatics Fest to me are apples and oranges. They're not the same thing. Fanatics Fest is not really for collectors. It's for like breakers, vendors, and stuff like that. It's two different things,
I would agree with that. It's more to meet athletes, and it's more of a party atmosphere. And if you want to meet the influencers kind of thing, I think there's more memorabilia focus there, more modern card focus. I heard there wasn't much vintage at all. So to take over the National, no, I think there'll be two different things. But quite honestly, I don't know if that's a bad thing. The National is getting so large that the experience lessens. You have a hard time finding parking. You have a hard time finding a bathroom that's open or waiting in line. Maybe too crowded. Maybe it's a good thing to separate those, to have two different ones that take some of that crowd away.
Yeah. When was your first National that you went to?
Oh, it was just a few years ago. The last time it was in Atlantic City, whatever year that was. Was that 19? No. It was right after COVID, because I was going to go and then COVID hit and they canceled it. What was that? 21? 22?
No, 21 was in Chicago.
All right, it was 22 then.
Yeah. Like my first one that I went to, man, I think it was 2019. Man, everybody was talking about how much bigger it got. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, there's so many, it's so crowded now. It's never been this crowded before. So that's 2019. That's pre-COVID. That's pre like the big rush that we had and explosion in card
Yeah.
prices from the pandemic and stuff. But everybody was just talking about how like, oh my God, it's so hot and there's so many people in here. It's like so many people. And that was
Well,
the biggest complaint.
I
That was
think
like
the
the biggest-
boom started before COVID. It's just like COVID just accelerated it.
Yeah. They threw
But
gas.
I
They threw
saw
gas
an
on the
uptick
fire.
before COVID.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of people want to say that. I mean, it did explode like in absurd numbers during COVID.
Yeah.
Like once everybody started getting those checks, those free checks from the government. But it was already growing like exponentially. Like that was the biggest complaint. So in 2019, we hadn't been hit by the social media, aspect of it, and the Jeff Wilsons and all the guys. All of a sudden now it's about flipping and carrying your what is it called, your
Pelican case.
your Pelican cases and all this. So the next one I went to was 2021. The difference between 2019 and 2021 was humongous as far as like, whoa, now there's a lot of young kids. That was a big thing in 2019. There's not that many young kids. There's more than last year, but there's still not that many. Well, I was like, yeah, it's an expensive event too. It's not a regular card show. But all of a sudden you had all the there was no more. What disappeared was like the hobby ethic, as far as like, don't just throw your Pelican cases with all these metal corners on top of somebody's glass, and don't put your Pelican case on top and talk to the dealer while other people around you are trying to look at the actual cards in the cases, and you're covering it with your Pelican case. Like there was a lot of things that were like, wow, these people don't have an ethic. All they're seeing is what can I sell for, or what am I buying? They're not thinking about. They had no social awareness of the people, other collectors around them. That's what it seemed like to me. The big
I think you mean etiquette. I think you mean etiquette.
Yeah,
there's no etiquette anymore. But that's there's no etiquette in life anymore.
I left a question on screen for a while for you guys. Are you guys going to the National? What's your favorite thing, not counting the show and the people?
That's interesting. Well, I'm going. My favorite thing, not counting the show and the people, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. What, sleeping? That's all I do is meet with people and go to the show. So I don't know.
I'm having the same problem.
I don't know how to answer that.
I'm having the same problem because I've said this so many times in videos, and I always say like, yeah, I probably sound selfish or sound like sound bad when I say this. But to me, the number one thing that I'm going for is the cards. And a lot of people say, hey, I'm going there for the people, and this and that. Like, well, don't get me wrong. That's number two. But the thing is, this is my only opportunity to see these cards. You know what I mean? Like this dealer might not be here again. He might have I might see his cards at his display that he has. For me, for a person that does not shop online, a lot of those cards are once in a lifetime opportunities for me to see or even try to buy. So I want to go there and I want to dig through boxes. I'm going there to look through binders and see cards that I need for my sets. And because to me, it's a gimme. After the show or even during lunch, you're going to see everybody. There's going to be YouTube gatherings, Like sometimes
But the point is, like, if you go to a regional show, you're not going to see anywhere near you're not going to see everybody in one place like you will the National. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to have 50 people you can hang out with. Like when we go to the YouTube night, there will be all kind of people. There will be YouTubers, non-YouTubers, everybody. And those parties are fantastic. That would be my answer, except the parties are about the people. So we're back to people again. So I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, so that's the thing with me is like I know I'm gonna see everybody at these YouTube get-togethers. I know I'm going to. So to me, it's like when I'm at the show, I want to focus on the show, and then after the show, boom, all my folks is gonna be like, hey, I want to get together with this guy. I'm gonna meet this guy. I can't wait to meet this guy. I've never met him in person before. That's automatic. Both of those things are automatic to me, And
I'll tell
Besides that, I don't know what it would be. Besides, the only thing I could think of is food. check out some of the crazy restaurants around town.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any fantastic food when I was there, or go to that. But Rick and I mean, we are on the floor all day, and we're going to the parties at night, or walking the floor for trade night. Like we literally are
What
getting,
happened to Rude Dog?
I don't know, 5 hours sleep, and just in the room for that, and everything's contained there. So at least last time we didn't go wandering out into the city or anything like that.
What?
We were
Okay.
just busy the whole time. Like I was just busy with people the
Yeah,
whole time.
we were the last day, the very last day of the national for my first year. I was sharing a room with Snoop, Nate Tops 85401, Jerome Yankee Collector. I don't know if you know who he is, man. He was really
Oh yeah,
big.
yeah. I haven't seen him in
Okay,
a long time.
Jerome and oh my God, I can't remember our host. He's from Chicago. I can't remember him. But he rented the room for us. And we were having fun, man, like showing our cards and just talking smack to each other. And one thing I wanted to do, I was like, hey, because, people we were playing a game and just show like somebody, sure, guess who's wearing this, and you guess. And I say, hey, let's everybody take a turn taking a poop in the toilet and then say, guess whose poop this is? Let's play that game. Nah, nobody wanted to do it. Like, hey, all right, pull out your junk and let's guess. Hey, guess whose junk? And no, like, but things like that, things that you really can't tell every day or tell everybody but we were drinking a lot and we were just having a great time, man. Some of those behind the scenes things, man, are just like extra fun. It's a great place, man, to really let go with your friends, But yeah.
We got the
So what
answer,
happened to Rude
Caesar,
Dog?
right there.
Oh, triple bypass tomorrow, huh?
Who?
Rude Dog 21. So he's not going to the national. He's having a bypass surgery.
Oh no. Good luck, my man.
Man, that's tough, huh? Everybody getting older.
That's all right. It's better to have it done so nothing happens, because if you don't have it done, you could just have a heart attack and not even know you had a problem.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had that. He had two of them.
Bypass surgeries?
Yeah.
I had a friend who's had two heart attacks. He's my age. So he had them both in his 40s. And he said, he didn't have medical insurance or life insurance. So he just stood there, and he said both times he would just sit there in the pain and eventually go to sleep, knock out, and then wake up hours later when his wife came home or whatever. He's like, yeah. Then he go to hospital after, like just a regular visit. They tell him, yeah. And they would take x-rays, and I guess they could tell when you have a heart attack. Because like scarring and closing in your tubes. So he's had two heart attacks where he just had the heart attack. He just stood there like, oh, if I die, I die. I have no insurance. And he just stood there and it would knock him out and go to sleep.
Man, that is a tough guy.
Oh, we do have another question asking, he wants to know what card John's looking for at the National.
Yeah, that's a good question. I get asked what I'm looking for. And, at this point, I don't look for anything. I don't go there looking for anything specific. I look for something I never saw before, something that catches my eye. Like last year, I had been looking for this Sadaharu O card from 64. And as soon as I walked in, I saw Prestige Collectibles and he had one, and I bought it like within 5 minutes of walking in. And I didn't buy another card for a long time because the rest of the show, I was just talking to people and everybody was, arriving. And then the first card I bought, I just bought it because I had never seen one before. It was super rare, and it was a 19, I can't remember the exact year now, 1914 or 1916 postcard of Tris Speaker, and it came with the envelope that it came in. And it's a super rare one. Like there was only, I don't know, like in the low teens ever graded of them, and I had never seen one before. So I snagged that. And then I didn't shop again. Honestly, I kept getting sidetracked, and people come up to me, and I shopped very little. And then I went to this one table, and I had been looking for these 35 rice sticks of the Dean brothers forever, and he had them. So I'm like, I gotta get these. So I was paying for those, and as I'm paying for them, I looked up, and there was a card I had been looking for years. Any card of this player, Matt Kilroy from the 1800s. And as I'm paying for these, I see out of the corner of my eye Matt Kilroy. And so those are my pickups. I got the Matt Kilroy, I got those rice sticks, I got that Trish speaker. And then at the very end, as I'm walking out for the last day, at the very end of the last day, I saw a Wheaties Stan Musial, a 51 Wheaties. Those are tougher. And so I snagged it on my way out, and it was pretty cheap. So that's what I go for, like things that I've been looking for, if I stumble on them, or things I have never seen before. That's what I really love.
Okay, it's just organic.
The
Yeah.
Somebody
from
asked me
James,
if I would sell a kidney for a 52 PSA 9 Mantle. Yeah, I would. As long as I still live,
wouldn't.
right?
I definitely
I would.
wouldn't. I'm getting sick of seeing that damn card. They're flipping them on Facebook like 3 a day.
Oh, I gotta say that you and Dave Vintage Cards have been saying that since you both started on YouTube. That the 52 is overpriced, and a lot of people will get at you guys that you guys suck and this and that, and you guys like no. As seasoned card collectors, not that you hate the card, that you just don't feel it's worth the value. It's not as root. You guys will give
Well, yeah, I've
perfect
never really.
explanations. It's not his rookie. It's not this, like, and people still will not hear what you're saying. And I hear what you're saying, but I love that card more than I love you, John.
And I think Dave was outspoken about it. I don't talk about it much, but my own feeling, it's just always been really expensive, and I don't get why it's so much more expensive than the Maze and other great cards. So that's just why I've stayed away from it. But if you're an investor, you can flip that baby all day long. I mean, you could probably make 10 grand every time you flip it. So if I was into that, but I ain't paying 142,000, for a nice 4 or 5 or something. Just not going to do it. It's to the point now where it's like that song you hear so often that you don't ever want to. Every time it comes on, you turn it off because you're so sick of hearing it.
I totally get
and that's
that.
what they're doing. They're ruining that Mantle for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
people are like, goo goo.
Yeah, I get that. Like when you have a song that you like so much, and then once it becomes so mainstream, and they just keep playing it, and then everybody likes it. People who you would never think like it, you're like, you kind of stop listening to it.
Yeah, then you stop liking it as other people are liking it because you heard it so many times.
Hey, look at this. I found this at the thrift store yesterday for $10. And so you got Roy.
What is that? A puzzle?
No, it's like a print.
Oh, okay.
I don't like all that stuff on the bottom, but I like this part.
Yeah, that's cool.
$10.
I just got that Campanella. That's Campanella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got that Burke Ross with that pose. And of course, that's a pose on the Stonemeyer, and also the 51 Bowman, right? I think is a close up of
one? That. Orlando's copy is one of the nicest ones out there.
He's talking to 52 Mantle, I believe. Yeah, it's a nice one.
I think he got rid of it, didn't he already?
Did he? No. Did he?
We talking about?
He was never getting rid of it. No,
or my Sharona Mookie?
What?
So is Who Let the Dogs Out of the Hobby, the 52 Mantle. Yeah, man. My last card that I wanted to buy, my target card the last time I went to the National was the George Brett rookie or the Bowman Pee Wee Reese, that in the air that everybody talks about as being one of the greatest
53,
cards
ever. The 53 Bowman color.
So I wanted to get that one or the George Brett, and when I went there, I saw many, many copies of each. I mean, I searched those out at every dealer asking for those. And I saw pretty much every copy that I could find and thought really hard about which one I was going to get when I ended up leaving. the George Brett rookie, I already had it graded. Okay, I had that one in a slab, but I didn't have a raw one in my 75 tops set. So I wanted to either buy one raw so I could put in my binder and keep that one slab. And if I would have bought the Pee Wee Reese, I was gonna crack that George Brett rookie and put it in the binder, you know. But I ended up getting a George Brett rookie, and so as soon as I brought it, a couple of people asked me right away when I showed it. Yeah, look, I got the George Brett rookie to put in my binder. Hey, will you sell me the one you have in the slab then? You don't need two. And I wanted to keep it, you know, but I ended up doing like a blind trade, which, you know, it was a good blind trade, but yeah, I wanted to keep it. So
Well, two classic cards.
Yeah. So that Pee Wee Reese, I don't know if I'd be able to find it for $100 anymore, like in the conditions that I was seeing for $100 a couple years ago. That card shot up like crazy.
Oh, so many cards. I remember, you know, Jackie Robinsons were all very reasonable. In fact, in the older days, you know, they were what I considered probably undervalued. And now, you know, you have Jackie on something, it's through the roof to the moon.
Well, here's my Jackie. I always have this one right here. So I have that one in a slab.
54.
You
Do
know
you
that
have
card
a
right
slabbed
there?
version? Is that a slabbed version of the card? Is that the slabbed parallel?
No, it's
the graded parallel.
I have two slabs of Jackie Robinson that I won in, what were they called? They used to have them all the time on Facebook. Like a raffle,
a Raz.
Yeah. And twice I got asked, hey, you want to enter my Raz? And I was like, I don't have any money. And both times, both Razes, the guy just bought me a spot, the last spot that he couldn't sell. He would just buy it for me since I didn't have any money. And both of those Razes, I won a Jackie Robinson graded card. But this was like 2014, 15, you know? So,
yeah,
like you said, they weren't worth very much back then. So, like, you know,
they really weren't. I mean, the 56, you could pick those up all day long for not a lot of money. The 54, 55, like all those at least. And even the 53, I mean, when I bought mine, it was nowhere near what they go for now. And the 52 was probably, I mean, thousands upon thousands less. Even the Leaf, that thing really shot up as like one of everybody's dream cards almost overnight. I never really cared for that card or the Satchel Paige in the Leaf set. I mean, I like them now, but I never really cared for them. Jackie Robinson looked like his eyes were half closed. He looked like he was all smoked up or something.
The Satchel Paige one, yeah, right. Yeah. Oh,
and right. Satchel Paige is looking down. It's just a weird image to me. So I never really wanted those cards. And then,
neither
you
did
know,
I.
And then they just shot up in value. I should have got them back then.
When I didn't know, like, all the lingo in the new card world, and people would say eye appeal. That's what I used to think that meant. Eye appeal was like the image on the card. Like, say that Satchel Paige where he's just like blinking. That has horrible eye appeal. Can't even see his eyes. Or the Jackie Robinson, you know?
Well,
I thought that was eye appeal. I thought it meant the image on the card. Like, how cool is that, you know?
What I would do is I would buy the cards I liked better first, right? Like, to me, I like the 56 Jackie Robinson better than that Leaf. It's just, to me. Yeah. Now, I missed out. Now, that didn't mean I didn't want the Leaf. It just meant that there were other cards I would want first in paying a lot of money. And the Leaf was always way more money. So why would I buy a card I like less for way more money?
That's got to be one of the things that I don't know how to say it, like, kind of irks me, like, not enough to the point where, I'm going to talk crap about these people or whatever. But I know you've mentioned this before in other videos, is like, so when people rank cards, you know, they rank them by price. It's like I don't rate
Yeah.
cards by price. I like them by how I like them. Like, how's the image?
Yeah.
How cool is the card, the design? But yeah, that to a certain point, like when you say, like, when you ask people to make a top 10 video of your vintage cards, a lot of people are going to make a top 10 price, most expensive cards that they have. It's like, no, I want to see what are your favorite cards. Like, if they had no price, if they were all the same value, which, well, I say I appeal, which ones look good to you,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I don't even know what my top 10 most expensive cards. I don't even know. But even if I did know, I wouldn't do that video. But that's just me. Lots of people keep spreadsheets, and they know, and it's connected to VCP, and they know every minute of every day what's going up, what's going down, and they can easily create a top 10 most expensive list. But yeah, I'm with you. But as a collector, it doesn't really matter. Like price only matters if you're selling, because if it's worth 10,000 a day, you have a card that's worth 10,000 a day, and I don't know, in 6 months, 7 months, a year, the card market crashes and now it's worth $1,000. So if you're a collector, you're not selling. So it doesn't matter if it's worth 10,000 or 1,000. It's in your collection. You didn't miss out on anything because you were never selling it.
Well, that's what I get a lot. And then, Nugent loves spreadsheets. Do you work with spreadsheets? I've always said that. Like, I used to say that at the beginning a lot when I first got on YouTube. I noticed like a lot of YouTube personalities, or the way people collect, were kind of tied to the job that they did. You know what I mean? Like, if you work with spreadsheets, you love spreadsheets on here. If you gave out loans, you love to trade, or like I noticed that before. But one of the things, what was I gonna say with the Nugent comments about spreadsheets? I forgot.
Well, while you think about that, I work with spreadsheets. Like, that's what I always had to work from. Long, very long, many lines, spreadsheets. And that's the last thing I want to do with a hobby, is what I did for work. That's the last thing I wanted to look. I never want to look at another spreadsheet ever again as long as I live.
Really?
And I don't want to be on any more conference calls either. I had 36 conference calls a day. I mean a week, not a day. 36 a week. It's absurd.
And you're an OnlyFans model, right?
Yeah, that's what I do. Yep.
All right. That's what I thought.
Baseballcardfeet.com.
Man, so yeah, the Nationals coming.
I look through my baseball cards with my feet.
Can you can you flip cards with your toes? Go through them all?
No, I'm one of those people that my toes basically just go like this. Like, I can't curl them or do anything.
So I don't know if you know, but like, these are the hottest cards in the hobby right now. They just came out.
Really? Doesn't look very nice.
So look at this one. You can see
those guys don't look like they can play very well.
So do you consider did you play baseball? Did you play Little League? Did you play any level?
Yeah, I played some baseball growing up. Yep.
Were you any good?
Well, I always made the All-Star team. I had a really good arm because Clemente was my idol. I had a high batting average. Didn't have a lot of power. I had these two minor league players who were my coaches, and they taught me to pull the ball. Like, they taught me to pop my hips and pull the ball. So, people be amazed when we play softball, because I just cracked that thing. One day I hit a softball and it cut the guy's elbow. Like, he didn't even move in time. And I went to Steve Blass's baseball camp after he taught me this, and he ruined me a little bit because I could no longer really hit to the opposite field. I was so frustrating because I had practiced popping those hips so much. I just started pulling everything, and I pulled things. All my misses were like fouls down the third base foul line. So anyway, I went to Steve Blass's baseball camp, and I pulled a thigh muscle, and so he was my pinch runner, and he's like, I'll pinch run for you. You hit. So they had these college baseball players who were the pitchers at this camp. So they were pretty good pitchers that, not like what I was used to in Pony League and stuff. So
I know
anyway,
what you're saying there.
I cracked the ball down to left side, and like I hit a line drive to the third baseman, and Steve Glassman's down there, and he comes back. I'm out. So the next time up, I crack to the third baseman, a hard ground ball, and he runs to first base, and he comes back. So the third time, I'm about to get up the bat, and he's like, if you hit another ball down third base, I'm killing you. Like he was all mad because he's running, and so I went and I got a bat that was 2 ounces heavier, so that I couldn't get around on it so much. And the first pitch, I hit a double into the gap, like a nice liner. So when he came in, I was like, is that better for you?
Yeah, man, I used to love playing baseball. One of the things I was going to mention is
I loved practicing more than playing. I used to practice. I would play baseball morning till night, man.
Yeah, I did too. I'll play paper cup. I would make these cups out of I get like Gatorade cups and crush them into balls and tape them and throw them on the roof, and they would roll down. And I play games. Past the garden would be a single. Past the fence is a double. Into the sidewalk is a triple. Over the street is a home run. Oh man,
they used to make. Do you remember those hard rubber balls? I don't know if they still make them, but they used to make these. They were hard rubber baseballs, and they were for practice, and were to emulate a real baseball. And I used to stand and throw it against. We had a brick house, and I would throw it against the house, and I would hit throw real hard grounders, and all day long just filled those. And then they had this batting thing, and I don't know I forget what it was called. You will probably remember. It was on a swivel, and it had these real thick rubber bands.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You would hit it, and it would go around. And then once the rubber band stretched, it would come back around, like it was a pitched ball, and you would hit it again. But you got immediate feedback because the idea was to hit it nice and level. Because if you didn't hit it level, it would bounce all over the place. What was that called?
Yeah, that was first. That was first a Reggie Jackson product, and then when his contract ended with that product, it came out with just a single name without him being the spokesperson for it anymore.
Was it called like a swing away?
Yeah,
man,
swing away.
It
was a swing away. I have videos that I made using it. I used to have a. Yeah,
I didn't even have a video camera until I was man.
Yeah, I have one. I have one hitting off of one. I made my daughter a tether ball pole in the back, so I put it on the tether ball pole, and I would use it. Yeah, but
and they used to have those like trampoline kind of nets with the red circles in the middle, and you would pitch, and then it would come up and like a pop fly. You ever have you use one of those back then? I mean, I would play those things for hours, and my dad would come out and he would throw me hard ground balls back and forth. And then he would, I'd stand, I grew up in the country, and we had these two, my neighbor's yard was way back. And I used to stand there like from the outfield and just throw him ball after ball after ball, try to hit his chest just all day. He would play with me. And then he got into golf, and he would stand I had like a big hill, a big yard, and he would stand at the bottom, and he would hit like wedge shots, and I'd stand there with my glove and catch them wherever they went. And he loved it because I was retrieving the balls for him.
Yeah.
And I had a blast. I was out there, shagging flies. But I loved, in baseball practice, catching fly balls, hitting, all that stuff. I loved practice. Absolutely loved it because I loved playing baseball.
Yeah, so did I. That's for sure one of the things I always say is I collect cards because I love baseball, So a lot of times when people say the hobby is dying and your cards are going to be worthless, no one's going to collect, it's like, well, I don't collect because of the month, because of value. I spend like $1,000 to complete, a set that's worth 50. You know what I mean? So I'm not doing it for the money. I do it because I love baseball.
You just have to tone all that out because it doesn't pertain to you. It doesn't pertain to me. Like, I don't care. There's all these topics. What's the next thing you should be buying? Or, where's the next boom? Or what? I don't even watch that stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to start collecting I'm not going to change what I'm collecting or not collect baseball cards anymore because somebody did a video discussing it and saying it's a bad idea to collect baseball cards. You should collect Pokemon. So I'm just going to sell my cards. Like,
hey, John.
Why?
So if I take some boxers, will you sign them for me?
Some boxers?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, yeah, boxers, skivvies.
Boxer briefs?
Yeah.
Are you going to the National?
Yes, I'm supposed to be going. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you said you weren't going to go.
Petty is paying my plane ticket, so I gotta go now.
Oh, awesome, Mike Petty, baby.
So yeah, like the last time that I went to the National, I wanted to buy the biggest pair of boxers that I could find and have everybody sign on. You know, that's why I wanted them as big as I can. And they were hard to find white ones. I wanted all white boxers. So couldn't find any. So I ended up buying the biggest pair of tidy whities, you know, that I could find. But it was the smallest pack they had was 10 pair. So I had to buy a 10 pair of big old giant, you know, tidy whitey underwear. And I took them to the National. So I just took all 10. And I had everybody sign that one choni, the underwear. But I was like, what am I gonna do with all these rest of them? So every time we went to a restaurant, anytime we went to a bar, I would leave them in a cup. Like I would leave a fresh pair of brand new white underwear, like in a cup, so it would look like a napkin. So I've always wondered, like, hey, I wonder what kind of, you know, how they reacted every time. Like, hey, who left this? You know, big old pair of chonies everywhere I went. That was what I was leaving behind, like the wet bandits in Home Alone. That was my trademark.
Well, if you can't find the white boxers, you could get like a light blue. If everybody's signing in black, it'll still look good. You know, because I think that light blue is a popular color in those.
Well, Orlando said he's not going to sign my underwear.
Really? Why not?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whatever.
I guess because they're underwear.
I mean, not if you're wearing them.
Yeah, no, I won't be wearing them. Hey, I know they're around here somewhere.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste the time right now. So yeah, man. Yeah, this was cool, man. The show about nothing, right?
That's what we do. But we talk cards, talk hobby.
Yeah, right. We could get on without having any plans and talk for an hour with no problem. Man,
hey, I don't know if I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried that the world might be coming to an end because I think it was 2 days in a row, the Pirates scored 9 runs. I mean, what the hell is going on?
Take those. Yeah, man. What is going on with the Pirates? So, John,
they've been sneakily winning. A lot lately, but they were in such a hole. They're still in last place, but they scored. Because they would, schemes would shut down a team and they score 1 run and then lose.
Yeah,
runs.
That was the thing.
And for them to score 9 runs back-to-back games is insane. That never happened.
That was the thing with same thing with a lot of great pitchers, Sandy Koufax and Clayton Kershaw.
Bob Gibson.
Yeah, but everybody, because they say the players would just get bored of doing nothing when they go on defense. They're just not doing anything because the pitcher's doing all the work.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? There might be something to say for that they get a little, down. Not as hyped up, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Bob Gibson, I saw him in an interview, and the interviewer was like, "You seem like you were angry when you played. Were you angry?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I was angry." He's like, "I couldn't give up a run or I lost the game. Nobody was hitting for me."
Yeah, because that was I think Sandy Koufax's famous line before he threw his perfect game. He's just give me 1 run, guys. That's all we're gonna need tonight. I'm feeling good, you know.
Hey,
but that's what it was.
Here's a little trivia I just heard today. In 1990, there were 2 no-hitters pitched on the same day. Did you know that?
Yep. Wait,
you know who they were?
Yeah. Stewart and Valenzuela.
Yeah. I never realized that they were on the same day.
Well,
That's pretty insane.
the story is that Stewart's game was on like a day game, and he had just finished. Yeah, he had just finished pitching it, and Fernando Valenzuela was watching the end. He's like, "Oh, it looks like there's going to be 2 no-hitters today." He went out and pitched and threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, I saw Dave Stewart on the MLB Network today, and they were talking about it. Like, I didn't realize that. In fact, for whatever reason, I thought Fernando's no-hitter was earlier than that. I didn't realize it was so late in his career.
Yeah. I can't believe I can't find my chonies.
It's okay. I think the world of YouTube here can live without seeing them.
Oh, my room's a mess. So, Hobby Palooza, you're going to be on there?
Yeah, I'm going to be on with Rick, and then I'm going to be on with the Misfits.
So you're going to be talking about oddball cards?
So with Rick, we're going to show our obscure vintage cards, like where they're real low pop, where it's entitled something like cards you may not have seen before, and then the Misfits, God only knows. We don't have any specific title yet, but I think we'll definitely be showing cards. We're coming up with something.
So Jay Carlin says he's exhausted from being a fan.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I mean, since 92, it's been awful. But 90, 91, 92, that was a great time to be a Pirate fan, but it was a terrible time too because they kept losing in the championship. We didn't have a closer. Did not have a closer, man. If we had a closer or two, might have been another story. Because those games, they all came down to the 7th game, last out. They were so tight. And Stan Belinda would come in, and he couldn't hold any lead. And so they kept Drabek in there that one series way too long because they didn't have a closer. And his arm was practically falling off. And it was one of the most courageous pitching performances I've ever seen. I mean, he was hanging in there. And he was so good back then.
I do think Fernando Valenzuela's no-hitter, wasn't that like 120 pitches or one of those crazy numbers?
I don't know.
Not like if every no-hitter back in the day was 80 pitches. A lot of them were 120, 130.
Well, hell, Doc Ellis, when he threw his no-hitter, he beamed like 5 batters. Did you know that? Because when he was tripping acid?
Do you know what baseball player made a cameo appearance in the movie? Which movie are we talking about? Oh, in the movie
Max Dugan Returns.
Which movie is that? I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm not either.
Have you watched The Hill?
The Hill?
The Hill? Yeah, the newer baseball movie? No,
I haven't heard of it.
I have made 3 videos about that movie. It came out a while ago. The first day that I saw it, I made a video opening baseball cards, and I used a clip from that movie because the little kids they open up a pack of baseball cards and they get a Mickey Mantle. It's called The Hill. It's a true story. It's only like a year or 2 old.
Do they still have the mantle? The real life people that opened it? Yeah, he does actually. But I made 3 videos using parts of that movie, and I got a copyright strike like every time. Like boom, I would use a 10-second clip and it wouldn't let me load it up. But it's called The Hill. It's a true story. Check it out. It's a newer movie. I can't believe I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's a good movie. Did you ever see that movie Perfect Game about the I think it was the 1959 Little League World Series?
Yeah.
With the Mexican team that was the first non-U.S. team to win it all, and that kid Angel threw a no-hitter to win it all, and it was the first no-hitter in Little League history, I guess, World Series history. That's such a good, well-done movie. I found myself wrapped up in it. I stumbled on it by accident one day. Such a well-done movie.
Yeah.
And that one guy's telling the groundskeeper that he doesn't know anything about baseball, and just to keep his opinions to himself. And it was Cool Papa Bell. He was the groundskeeper on that. Yeah.
Wow, Cool Papa Bell, huh?
Well, that was. So that movie was based on a true story, but as with Hollywood, you don't know what's true and what's not. Moneyball wasn't even close to accurate. Some of the
Yeah.
things in Jackie's movie wasn't exactly accurate, like that Austin Mahler, threw and hit him on his hands, and in the movie threw at his head and stuff like that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different,
They got to romanticize.
Hollywood has to ramp it up a little bit. So I don't know if Cool Papa Bell was actually a greenskeeper or not, but in the movie he was.
I think he was. Yeah, but I don't know if he was part of that movie, like had that interaction in real life.
Yeah, it was such a good movie, though.
All right, but yeah, I'll give you that assignment. Watch The Hill. Everybody here that's watching us right now, watch the movie The Hill. I think it was just like on Netflix or something. I can't believe no one's seen it. I saw it like the first day it came out, and I've seen it a few times now. But yeah, I try to make videos about it, and I use clips because I like that. I've been trying to use that clip of the kids pulling the Mickey Mantle card out of the pack, and yeah, man, it always right away they take it down. They don't even let me post it.
Yeah, some things are like that. I used an AC/DC like Back in Black. If you try to use that song, your video will disappear. Like it'll disappear within a minute. There are certain songs you'll get strikes, and then other songs they'll just be like so and so's monetizing this because they own the rights. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care. They can monetize it all they want as long as you play it. But some things they won't even allow up at all.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about baseball movies now. Fastball, I love that movie, Fastball. Eight Men Out. Like, yeah, I've been watching Field of Dreams quite a bit again.
Wait,
lately.
The movie Fastball? Is that the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Where they try to calculate like Bob Feller and Walter Johnson speeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that has to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Hill, The Hill. That's the one I'm talking about, The Hill, about Ricky Hill. It's a true story. Yeah, so man, okay, man. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, man.
But yeah,
Good
thanks.
chatting.
Hey, thanks everybody for being here. Any questions we need that we need to address or anything or any opinions? You got anything to say? Let's do this right now.
What do you have for us, John? Anything? Did John fall asleep, or is he doing a spreadsheet?
Oh, I'm still here. I go with my spreadsheet on the other monitor. So,
John, have you ever touched a card?
Oh yeah. To me, holding the different sets first and smelling what the different cardboard smells like, it's educational.
Absolutely, it is. I recommend, like, if nobody's ever really touched a card, and I suspect there are people, like, get yourself a cheap T206, even if it's beat up, and touch one. See what they feel like, man. Some of these, it's funny because they're all different thicknesses, and some are almost paper thin. Some are extra thick. Some you can see through on the back, like the 33 Gaudies. The 1929 Cash, and I have one here, Willie Cam. These things have the most unique back because they have, you can kind of see through them on the back, and they have like a border where the white border is. So you could see all this. It almost looks leathery or something. These things would be really hard to fake if you've ever seen one.
Yeah, right. That feel.
Same with the 33 Gaudies. I think those are very hard to fake.
Like these are like classic. These are classic cardboard. So to have that feel appeal, and these are scratch offs, and none of them have been scratched off. If you guys aren't familiar with these ones, they're like an insert. And there's a game. It's an actual game you play.
Yeah, and those were issued 2 years. Not everybody realizes that. They were issued in 70 and 71. Because when I was not because, but that's when they were issued. But when I was a little kid, my babysitter had given me some older cards that predated me, and they were from 71, 72, and 73. And I had this big box of cards from those 3 years, and those were in them. And then every time I would see them, talked about, everybody was calling them 1970 scratch offs. And I'm like, I know they're from 71 because my my babysitter didn't give me any 70 cards. She started in 71, and I had them. And then I later discovered that they made them 2 years.
Okay. They both look different though, right? Or they pretty much look the same?
I think they look a little different. I think the 70s. I haven't looked at mine in a while, but I like open. And if you buy them graded, I don't know. Do they stretch them out, or do they grade them? I can't remember. Do they grade them closed or stretched out?
I don't
know. I think the 70s
I don't think I've
have.
seen one graded.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the 70s have the white, like you just showed. I think the 71s are darker inside, but I'm not 100%. I haven't looked at them in a long time. I know the ones I had from 71 were not bright white like that.
Cardboard. I don't know, man. I just love the feel of cardboard, the smell of it.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
Cardboard,
I like to scratch my nails along with Kellogg's 3D effect.
Yeah, I mean, I just love all.
Rub
These
it on
are
your
all
face.
like the same feel, same texture.
Lick the card.
Yeah, I wish I could wipe my butt with them, but I had too much respect for them. But like I said, yeah, that
Hey,
feel.
Pepino, when you were young, did you flip cards with your friends?
No,
you didn't.
No, I hadn't even heard of that. Really?
Oh, we flipped. We had so we played two different types of games. One was you would take the card, and they would take the card, and you would literally flip it like this, and it would spin around, and you would either call odd or even. So whoever got the call, you called odd or even. So if they both came up the same, the even person won, and if they came like one back, one up, then the odd person won. And the other way we would play, and you used to get big stacks of cards, is you would set up cards. Everybody would pick 5 of their cards or whatever, set them up along a wall, and you would throw the card like a frisbee. And any cards you knocked down, you got to keep. And then once you took those cards, then everybody, whoever lost, had to put their cards back up there.
One thing about
let me tell you, this was wonderful for condition. That was wonderful for condition of cards.
Right. Those are the well-loved cards. One of the things I was going to say, advantage of cardboard 1, modern card 0. My first one, I think either 100 or 50 subscriber video. I think my first 100 subscriber video, my contest was whoever builds the biggest baseball card house, like House of Cards, like you build with playing cards.
Yeah.
I said a baseball card house. And I try to give away as much good stuff as I could have participation. But if you didn't have cardboard cards, and a lot of people at this time, a lot of the YouTubers, they just had modern cards. Not a lot of them had like old cards. The cardboard ones, the old school ones, you could build a cardboard house and they stay together. They have friction. But the newer cards, you know what I mean, that are like glossy and shiny, you try to stack them and they just fly off. So a lot of people that didn't have cardboard cards, they couldn't build a cardboard house because they would just fall apart.
I'll tell you what, if we had those things when we were playing that frisbee game with these modern chromes and stuff, we would have taken our eyes out.
They probably skim over water. They probably skim over water
Chinese
like a rock.
throwing stars compared to the old flimsy cardboard we use.
Right? We got to try it.
Yeah.
All right, when we see each other at the National,
sticking out of his
when we see each other at the National, we're going to throw cards at each other like ninja stars.
Yeah, man. They could probably do some damage because I don't know if you know this. You could do some damage with a deck of cards. I used to do like card tricks and manipulations and stuff, and they had whole books on self-defense with cards. You could take a deck of cards and throw it and really do damage to somebody.
Hey, so at the National, there's going to be a vintage trade night. So a trade night card room just for vintage cards without having to, mingle with modern cards.
Well,
who's sponsoring that?
Would be a portion of the space. Because
no, the whole thing.
Is it really? I don't think so. But because it's I believe the VIP lounge area is going to be the place for the trade night. The tables and chairs for that will be able to be used, and it'll be Saturday night is when For Collectors is hosting the vintage section.
So there you go, guys. All right, I'm gonna go eat because I'm starving.
Okay, Pepino, real quick though, are you bringing anything to trade?
No, I never take anything to trade.
Yeah, I don't really like to. I don't really like to travel with my cards either.
Do I
especially
take
if I'm
cards?
flying.
I take cards for conversation pieces. You know what I mean? But no, I don't really take stuff to intention of trading or anything. I just take them. I'll take my Pelican case.
I might take a couple things just to participate. I'm not sure yet. Probably not though. I like to travel free. I don't like to carry.
Oh yeah,
stuff around.
no underwear, right? Just free balling. Travel free.
Commando. I go card commando. No cards.
Yeah.
I only bring cards back with me. All right, guys. Thanks.
Okay, guys. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Love the hobby and keep collecting baseball cards forever, essays. Ciao. Thanks, John.
Pepino.
Love the hobby. Keep collecting baseball cards forever, essays.
But hey, we want to keep the lights on here at For Collectors Studios, so hit the like button for us, guys.
So thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you next time on For Collectors.
All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Subscribe to the For Collectors channel if you haven't done so yet, and see you soon.
All right, guys. Clemente Collector has said we hit a grand slam, so that makes me feel good.